In this lecture, I want to go over a couple items. Number one is while you're developing, there's times when you're trying to manually create data through this, and you're testing small features, but when you get to trying to prepare something for production, where you could have hundreds or thousands of devices, how do you test that? Well, in Rails, they provide a way to do that using what are called database seeds, and it's called seeding your database. So you can generate a bunch of data very quickly to test out your app with a larger data load, which is good. But also, how do you see all these names and companies and operating systems? How do you generate those so that you can get a wide variety of devices so that you can test it. Well, there's also a gem called Faker. I'll show you that real quick. This one, and we're going to add that to our application, and it just allows us to generate fake data, and so it's pretty cool. There's a bunch of items here that it supports, but some really funny ones too. Back to the Future and Breaking Bad and Chuck Norris, but there's also some very, very handy ones too. Device. I think one we'll use. Yeah, device is so we'll definitely use that to generate some of our data. Cool. The seeds part is get the app here. In your app, if you go down to DB, and then you'll notice a file called seeds. And this actually in the comments explains what it does. Should contain all the records creation needed to seed your database with default values. So you literally just call active record commands from here, and then you can run the command Rails db seed, and it'll actually generate those records for you. So I figured that's what we would do to get this going. And then finally, what we want to do in this is, if we're going to get like hundreds of records, we don't want them to all display on this first page. It'll overload the page, so we're going to want to paginate it. So I'm looking at another gem called Pagey. And it's the ultimate pagination gem, and it's ranked as like the fastest paginating gem out there right now. So we're going to use that. So it's really simple to use. So let me think about this for a second. Why don't we generate the seeds first? So we're going to have to install this Faker gem, and if I follow the instructions. Let's see, have it up here? No. But I think all we need to do is, whenever we want to add a Ruby gem, and maybe a little bit more background, rubygems.org. This is where, if you go to gems, there's literally thousands of gems that are created by the community. And it's easy to look for, I'll just do pagination, and there's tons of them, right? Tons of them, and I've obviously vetted this, and there's Pagey, the one that we're going to use, right? So again, before you build something on your own, I would recommend definitely checking out rubygems.org and searching to see if something exists already that can make your life a lot easier. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go. Notice this says gem file. I'm going to copy this, and I'll show you where to put that. In your Rails app, we do have a gem file right here, and there's already some other gems in here. So I'm actually going to go down here. Let's see, I'm going to just stick it, I'll just stick it down here. And so in order to have that installed, you just go back to your terminal, make sure you're in your Rails app, and then just type bundle install, and that will go download that gem, install it, and have it in your app. So notice here it said installed Pagey. So cool. I want to actually restart my app, and then actually I'm gonna do Faker too. Might as well. So let's find Faker. There it is. Copy that. Put it in here. Actually, I'm going to stick it in. Actually, it's both development, and I'm going to stick it in development because we're only using Faker in development. We're not using that on production. We're not generating fake data on production. It's just for local stuff. All right, so that's that's in our gem file, and we need to run bundle install again. I should have done that at the same time. Bundle install. Okay, so Faker's installed now. All right, so we got both the gems that we need. And then what I want to do now is go into the seed file. And what I typically do is I will check to make sure that I'm in development. And the way you do that is, in fact, I'm even do a quick Google for it. Check Rails development environment. Let's see. I think it is Rails.m.development. Yep. Because I only want to run this kind of code within development. So I'll be like, if I don't want to run this in production, because what I do, if you notice, I'm going to do a device.delete all. So it just basically clears out all my devices and then generates new data. And so I'm going to try 100 times. I'm going to loop 100 times. I'm going to loop 100 times and generate 100 devices here. .create. And then let's see. We have, what do we have? I'll look in my schema real quick. Company, name, and operating system. Okay. So company's going to be something. Name is going to be something. And an operating system is going to be something. And so this is where that Faker gem is going to come into play. I'm going to just create. So I'm going to require Faker, and that'll bring that library into this file to be used. Oops. Make sure my syntax is right. All right, so let's look at the Faker gem and find device. And it looks like we can use manufacturer for the company. We can use platform for the OS. version. We can use version for the, oh wait, we don't have version. Oh, model name for the name. All right, let's see what that does. So in order to run that, I'm going to do Rails db seed. And that should work. Okay, nothing blew up, so that's cool. And let me go back to here, hit refresh. Ah, my server's not started. Now I can hit refresh. And there it is, it worked. Very cool. So that's great, but like I said, if this was 1,000 records, this would like be too much on the screen. So let's try to set up that pagination now. And the way you do that, I'm just going to follow the instructions. Not there. Here. So we have Pagey installed. We've installed the gem. And then it says include Pagey backend into a controller. So let's do that. And I'm going to put it in the application controller because that's kind of the global. It'll be available to all my controllers there because all my controllers inherit from application controller. So we would just get the Pagey stuff for free. Use the Pagey method in some action. So let's do that. So this page is the index page of devices. So I want to go to that controller action and set this up. So I'm going to go to devices controller. And right here it says index.all. So what we would do is set up a Pagey variable. And then devices is fine. And then just pass this into a Pagey like that. Cool. So this Pagey thing is semi-magical here. We just need to put it in there, and then this Pagey method will do the magic for us, basically, for all the pagination stuff. Okay. So what else do the instructions say? Include the front end in some helper. So I might as well just stick that maybe into application helper as well. So helper. Oh, there it is, application helper. I'll just stick that in here. And finally, I need to render the navigation links. So render navigation links in some view. So I'm going to go stick it in our device. Let's see, devices, index. Right, this is where we're iterating over the devices and printing them out. So I'm going to stick it down here. And then it should just handle the rest for me. Cross my fingers. All right, let's see if that doesn't blow up. Refresh. Oh, look at that. Cool. I think the default is 20 per page here, so I think that worked. There's our navigation links at the bottom. Oh, very cool. I'm going to put them at the top too. Oops. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah. Anyway, the UI could be cleaned up, but I just like them maybe both at the top. Yeah, that's looking really nice. I like that a lot. Cool, cool. Well, that pretty much sums up what we've done in this lecture. We want to generate data. We want to be able to do it quickly. We would set up database seeds, but we use Faker to generate the fake data. We use Pagey to set up navigation, pagination links so that we can support thousands and thousands of records at a time. And so, yeah, that worked out real nice. So that's it for now, and I will talk to you soon.